God fucking damn it.
Hello everyone and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Sho, and joining me tonight we have the Emperor of Explosions, Riker.
Hi.
Riveting. So interesting. Thank you for that introduction, Riker. And next we have Alex Senpai.
Woohoo! God, I have no title. I have no title in on the screen.
Your title
You
is
deserve one.
Your title is Senpai.
Good enough. Good
That's
enough.
his honorific. Get the terminology correct, Riker.
Wow.
Are you even
God.
a weeb? Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Hey, I didn't join this podcast to save it just to get ridiculed and roasted.
This podcast has
Well-
a problem.
This podcast has a problem.
Sure. So today it's going to be another sideshow episode because it's only the three of us and we're going to talk about a specific topic for a shorter period of time. And what that topic is today is quote unquote American anime. So there have been a lot of mixed American-Japanese animated productions recently, and I thought it would be interesting to talk about it. So first of all, the most dated, quote unquote dated, American, quote unquote American anime.
Stop
that
saying
we're gonna
quote
talk about.
unquote. We all get it.
No, you don't get it. Okay, let me say it every fucking time. Is Shelter. So just a quick recap for those of you who don't know what Shelter is, which I don't know who you are. Are you living under a rock? Are you even a human? Are you even a weeb? Please get your weeb card revoked if you don't know what Shelter is, but I'll explain anyways. It's a music video. Let me start that again.
Please explain it to us.
Shut up. Okay. I am the senpai of this podcast. I don't care about your honorific, so don't interrupt me. Okay. Shelter is a music video that premiered on YouTube on October 18th, 2016. It was produced by the American DJ Porter Robinson and the French DJ Madion, and it was produced in collaboration with the American company Crunchyroll and the Japanese studio A1 Pictures. And it blew up the internet and everyone knows about it. So what do you guys think about it?
Thank God no one was running in it because it was done by A1.
It was very good. Best.
Yeah,
I think it was the best thing A1's done in the last year.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. The music was fantastic. Of course, it was a music video, so that's its main appeal. But I just thought everything about it was top notch. The music, the animation, the designs, especially the character design, because there's really only one character in it.
What about the dad?
Huh?
Spoilers.
Well,
What about the dad?
okay. That was a slight spoiler. I'm so sorry. I don't know. It was just top quality, and I thought it was funny that it got so much backlash on Reddit when it first came out. I will never forgive Reddit for that. It's fucking racist.
It didn't get backlash. The mods got backlash.
Yeah, because they said it wasn't an anime because it wasn't Japanese enough.
It wasn't that it wasn't Japanese enough. They thought since it was the music video for an English song by an American, artist, it wasn't anime. But I mean, it was directed by an anime director, made in a anime studio, and I had Japanese voice acting. So I don't really know what else you need to be an anime.
I
But-
don't
It looks
either.
like an anime and it sounds like an anime and it has anime personnel in the credits, then it's not an anime.
Clearly. I mean, to me, it just seemed like there was a bunch of people that got their knickers in a twist for absolutely no reason. I mean, it's close enough. Even if it's not an anime, it's close enough to be considered one.
What is really anime?
That's
So
actually a good
existential.
question.
What does it mean to be alive? What does it watch something? It's all just subjective. Nothing really happens.
But if you are one of the 3 people on Earth that hasn't seen Shelter yet, go watch it on YouTube.
It's very good. The song's
Very,
very good too.
Yeah,
Kinda
it's
sad.
top notch. It is quite sad. Yeah, the song, the visuals are all top notch. I also really liked the actual story that it told. I think that the way it was told was very well directed. I liked
Yeah.
how they did.
Yeah, and the cinematography is A+.
Yep, it's really good. I give it an 8 out of 10.
You probably did. You probably did.
So, okay, we can move on from that to the next thing we're going to talk about, which is Castlevania, which was a television series that premiered on Netflix on July 7th, 2017, which was I'm not going to calculate how many months ago, a number of months ago. And it was animated by the American companies, Frederator Studios and Powerhouse Animation Studios. And even for American studios, the visuals were pretty amazing. Like, better than a lot of seasonal anime that came out this year.
It was also, I mean, it was also a lot shorter, so.
I mean, I guess so.
It's true. If you can spread the same budget over a shorter number of episodes, you can probably get better quality. At least better animation quality.
It was very good, though. I enjoyed it a lot. But I also like Castlevania. I like the game series. So it was kind of fun to see it. Like, I love, like...
Do you think it did the game series justice?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love that it, like, I don't know, it really captured that, like, old, you know, Victorian Gothic horror kind of aesthetic that was in the original games, but, like... Oh, it was in the original games as, like, you know, crappy background pixel art. Oh, well, not crappy. Not crappy, but background pixel art. So, I don't know. It was cool to actually see it, like, essentially brought to life in the way that I always visualized it, like, as a kid when I was playing those games. So, I enjoyed that series a lot.
It was a nostalgia boner for you?
Definitely was.
Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't watch it, Alex.
I didn't watch
I was like, I was waiting for you to weigh in, and I'm like, oh yeah.
At the point of recording this, I have not watched it, so I have nothing else to say.
Wow. Well, yeah, I will say that the best thing about it was the visuals for me. The story was like so, but it was only 4 episodes. It's clearly setting up to be something bigger, and it's based on a video game. So, what can I really expect? My biggest issue was that it was like supposed to be a supernatural show, but the supernatural lore was kind of very basic and kind of unbalanced and kind of didn't really make sense. But I guess that's just the style that they use. Not my style. I didn't like that. I'd rather more specific and detailed supernatural lore.
That's kind of Castlevania in general, though. Like the monsters and stuff are just like, you know,
Victorian.
Yeah, evil monsters. So you got your zombies, you got your gargoyles, like you got your classic, you know, old school monsters. And I mean, they don't really. The show definitely didn't try and like do anything crazy in that department. I mean, the story is about a guy who wants to kill Dracula. There you go. That's the basis of it, and he runs into zombies and other things along the way. That's Castlevania in a nutshell. So.
Well, I guess for like a turn your brain off, like action kind of supernatural kind of thing, it did its job in that case, if that's what it was trying to do. Yeah, it was definitely like it was a spectacle.
Very entertaining to watch for 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Definitely need more. Netflix. Wasn't it renewed for a second season as soon as it premiered?
Yes, it has been renewed. I don't know. I don't think they've said when the new episodes are coming out, but they did say it has gotten renewed.
Must be in 2018 as part of their 30. Was it 30 new anime that they're doing?
It's a lot. It's a boatload.
Oh, Netflix.
They're doing more. Netflix is contributing more money to anime next year than most anime studios do in 10.
Well, I feel like they're like most of Netflix's anime is just gonna be like stuff like Fate Apocrypha.
Oh, are you gonna complain about that?
No, like
but that doesn't
like,
actually
they're gonna be like
cost them.
Well, they're gonna be like a Netflix original series, and Netflix is gonna have nothing but essentially just putting the show out there.
License, not
that's one thing that's always bothered me with Netflix.
Yeah,
like I get them saying Netflix original series on something like Stranger Things, stuff like that. But then when you watch like, you know, Little Witch Academia or Fate Apocrypha, and they're like, check out this new Netflix original series, Little Witch Academia. It's like the series has been around before it was on Netflix.
And the Netflix was not even involved in the production.
Yeah.
Financially or creatively, so nice label there.
Yeah, that stuff's always bothered me. And I feel like most of the anime next year, most of this like 30 new anime is gonna be stuff like that.
Oh really? I did not.
Yeah.
I did not take.
I think they're gonna have more like actual original stuff though coming soon.
But didn't they like specifically say producing 30 new, not like 30 new Netflix originals?
Who actually knows how Netflix does anything? They keep everything so secret.
I think they just said 30 new anime.
Oh, well.
I
Well,
don't.
that's.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like in-house stuff. I think it's just gonna be 30 anime shows that are gonna air on Netflix first.
Well, that's about as much as Crunchyroll gets per season.
More or less.
Yeah.
Well, okay then. Speaking of Netflix,
Here we
let's
go.
move on to the main topic here.
Here we go.
Netflix's main seller and their best item in their catalog.
God.
Neo
I just want to say,
Yokio
everyone,
is what I'm talking about.
everyone,
What?
everyone listening to this, just get ready for the shitstorm. I'm telling you now.
I'm not gonna argue about it too bad. I've already in our in our private chats, I've already discussed my issues with the show. But I'll summarize them here, I guess, when we get into it.
Sure. So we're talking about Neo Yokio, which was a television series that premiered on Netflix on September 22nd, 2017. So that was like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know an
Okay.
astonishingly large amount about this already.
It was created by the American musician Ezra Koenig of Vampire Weekend and produced by the Japanese studios Production IG and Studio Dean, and the voice cast stars Jaden Smith and Jude Law, among other people. So it is mostly known for the Toblerone meme, basically. That's how most people heard of it, I assume. I personally heard of it through like a news website. I'm like, okay, let me try it out. And it is like really badly produced. The voice acting is bad, except for Jude Law, he was good, but most of the voice acting is, especially the main character Jaden Smith, is really bad. The animation is really bad. The art style is really basic, and just the script is so horrible. Like, I don't know who wrote that, but
you love it.
But there's like a line, like there's good writing, mediocre writing, bad writing, and then just like, what the fuck, did a human even write this writing? And this was the what the fuck writing. Like, it was so bad it couldn't have been, no one could have been trying to make this good. It's like, you couldn't try to make this like worse if you it just baffles me. And like, I enjoyed it because I felt like everything was done badly on purpose, because there's no way this was an accident. Because like, a blind man and a deaf man could tell you that Neo Yokio was shit. Like, the producers knew this. So this was, I saw all of the bad things in Neo Yokio as very purposeful, and I thought it was super funny because it was just really shocking and out of place a lot of the time, and I was really entertained.
You know what I think about the script of Neo Yokio? I equate it to what would happen if you gave a basic idea to a chatbot for an anime and they were just left to their own devices. Neo Yokio is what would come out.
No, I feel like the show honestly felt like Jaden Smith had something to do with the writing process. Like, it
Definitely the main character. Very Jaden Smith-esque.
the main character is literally just Jaden Smith's Twitter account. Like, if you follow on Jaden Smith on Twitter, you're like, oh, well, I'm just following Kaz from Neo Yokio. I personally didn't enjoy the show. I will agree with everything that you just said. Like all that. So Jude Law actually
all
was
the
good at
insults.
voice acting, all the faults, but everyone else in that show, it felt like they were just reading. Like, it felt like they were literally just reading the lines off a piece of paper. Especially Jaden Smith. Dear God. Like,
his hood friends were pretty good, though, don't you think?
some of the side characters weren't bad. It was just like the main cast. Just
What was the main cast? Kaz and Jude Law?
Kaz, Jude Law, and I guess some of his hood friends. But I don't know. Just everything felt off in this show to me, including the voice acting. And it didn't make me laugh because I felt like I felt like it was trying to be funny, and like it was trying to set up jokes about like how kind of awful a person Kaz is, and then it never follows through with any of them. So
See,
I'm like, he's doing
Go ahead.
something shitty. Somebody's like, hey, that's shitty. And then he goes, no, it's not. And then you expect something bad to happen, and then it doesn't happen. Like, I don't know. It was so much build up. Like, it felt like there was all this build up on jokes, and then they didn't follow through on any of it. Like, I felt like it could have been really funny, but it wasn't funny at all for me.
I hear that criticism a lot, how like Kaz is a really flawed character, and it looks like they're gonna solve his ways or like have him stumble upon his own flaws, but he never does. But I never saw that because just like the creators, I don't think Kaz is a flawed. Well, okay, yes, he's obviously a flawed character, but I don't think they were ever trying to solve his flaws. I didn't see that, and I wouldn't have wanted that. I don't want to see him become a good person. I just want to see him be a fucking piece of shit.
Let's be honest, show. Kaz is the type of person you aspire to be.
Kaz Khan, aspire? I
already am.
already.
I don't know. I don't think you're quite that level yet. You're getting close, but I don't think you're quite that level.
I don't know. It was just like, I mean, I definitely didn't like the main character. He just, man, he was driving me. He just like every time he was on screen, I was just like, I want to strangle you. Like that was most of the characters in the show. Like I said this before in our private back and forth about this, and I was like, it felt like I was watching that generic stereotypical rich boy anime antagonist that's just like, oh, I am rich and I have good taste. Like that kind of character. Like I felt like there like so many of those characters in that show were all that personality type. And like, your taste is awful. I'm so rich. Look at my car. Like, it was stuff like that, and it drove me insane because nothing would ever happen to these characters. Like, nobody would be like, dude, you're a fucking asshole. Like, I don't know. It didn't go anywhere. Like, there's the whole episode where he's an asshole to his robot the whole time. And his robot's like, hey, man, plug me in. And he's like, nah, dude, don't worry about it. And then the robot dies, and they just put him in a bus and go home.
I didn't get that, actually. I didn't get where that was going.
Like, it was like, I don't know. I thought
that was a bad joke.
I thought they were going to build up to, like, the robot, his battery dies, and then they're fucked. But he's like, they didn't do anything with it. They were just like, oh, okay, let's go home. And they just put him in a bus and went home. Like, there was no joke there.
Every time the robot was like, my battery is dying, there was, like, dramatic music, and, like, everybody awkwardly looked at him. And I was like, what's gonna happen? He's gonna explode or something? But no, nothing really happened. And, yeah, your problems with Kaz, I know it's hard to understand, Riker, but it's called being fabulous. So
I get I get being fabulous, and I'm okay with it in a side character that doesn't get the majority of the screen time, because I can only take that for very, very short amounts before I want to strangle someone.
You classist bastard.
It's like,
wait,
I don't know. I mean, I can see, I mean, I feel like most people really only like the show for the memes. I'm genuinely curious to see how many people actually finished the show, like all 6 episodes.
I did.
I know both of you two did. I did not. I made it to the 3rd episode, and then I was like, there's nothing here for me.
Like, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Damn it.
But I'm curious, because I know it wasn't critically well received, but I would like to know what the general viewer reception of it was, because all I know the general viewer reception was just look at this Toblerone. I brought you a big Toblerone. I still see you don't deserve this giant Toblerone in like every single comment section I go to. Like
if you go to Toblerone's, like anything from Toblerone on Amazon, like all of the questions, like the most upvoted question is always, do I deserve the big Toblerone?
Yeah, it's like,
I bet they're loving that.
Yeah, I'm sure Toblerone is like, hey man, that's awesome. How many people are gonna buy giant Toblerones as meme gifts this year?
The big Toblerone is a real thing. It's almost 9 pounds of chocolate.
How much is it? Isn't it like super expensive?
It's almost $80.
Yeah.
US dollars. Plus,
I thought it was like over 500.
Oh no, but
it's only 80.
No.
Okay.
because of its weight, it costs about $20 to ship it.
I mean, that's not bad.
So you're spending $100 on a chocolate bar. Chocolate bar.
Most people
are
are
delicious.
Most people aren't gonna eat it though.
No, that would be weird.
Yeah.
I just
How
want a
could you
big.
eat that
Can I just get a
much?
big Toblerone box?
No, get a Toblerone Dakimakura.
Yes.
See,
would.
like stuff like that is like what definitely kept this show around and what made this show, I think, popular. Like, I feel like if that Toblerone scene was not in the show, I feel like the show would have flown under like everyone's radar. Like, I know you found it from like a news site, but I feel like if that Toblerone scene wasn't like a giant Twitter meme for 3 months, I feel like everybody would have been like, oh, it's got bad reviews, let's skip it.
Probably. But then again, it is also pretty unique from a production standpoint. So it might have gotten news coverage by like YouTube critics. So it might have gotten a bit of coverage that way. But yeah, definitely the most of the buzz of it right now is the Toblerone. No one really cares about it. And you should care about it because it's a good show.
So it hasn't been put up for a second season yet, right?
Not yet.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if it gets one.
It might.
Me neither. I'm pretty sure it has I would assume it has a pretty large view count on Netflix because there's a lot of buzz on it. So
A lot of memes, so I have a feeling it's got.
yeah.
I mean, it's got a fan base.
Obviously,
I'm not.
It's got two of them here.
I'm not in that fan base, but
See, I just really like bourgeois rich bitch slice of life where all they talk about is their rich things and how they're better than people, which is like part of Okay, I like it. Okay, don't judge me. That's like part of the reason I watched Black Butler. Like I would watch Black Butler with the scenes of CL just having expensive meals and Sebastian describing all the expensive things that he bought for him and like no plot, no nothing, no character development, just that. I would be so happy with that. So it definitely appealed to my biases on many levels. That was one of the level. But we haven't heard a lot of what you thought about it, Alex. So what were your opinions?
I mean, I think a lot of the same stuff that you said about, especially particularly the animation and the art style, is just kind of either not there or just kind of meh. I thought it was, if you're looking at it from the standpoint that it's supposed to be like a parody of like Western culture and like basic shonen anime, I actually enjoyed it from that standpoint. I just thought that the absurdity of it was just, I couldn't take it seriously, obviously. So I just looked at everything as like a comedy of errors, and if you look at it that way, it's, for me at least, it was very entertaining.
Exactly.
And I know that you don't give a shit about the memes from the show, but I thought some of them were really funny.
Yeah, because you're a fucking meme lord, trash face.
I'm trying to agree with you, you cunt.
I know. Whatever. Keep going.
I mean, there's not really much else to say. The voice acting is mostly mediocre. It's just, I don't know. The writing is bad, but I think it's intentionally bad. And if it's intentionally bad, I can take it as a comedy.
I don't think it's intentionally bad, though.
I think it is.
It was so intentional.
If you watch the interviews with the Ezra guy, dude, he's so proud of the writing in that show.
Have you ever thought he was proud of the fact that it was good satire?
It doesn't. There's no satire though. It doesn't. It's just like these guys are rich assholes, and that's it. There's nothing.
You don't understand the posh life.
And you do?
I mean, I like watching it.
I would have enjoyed it if it like had better visuals to show off the posh life.
God, you are such
it's also
a superficial bitch.
It didn't have. There's literally like the writing was bad, the visuals were bad, the voice acting was bad. There's nothing there for me.
It was good.
It's worth mentioning, at least for me. I also thought the main character was hot.
Sure.
Oh, you did too, you son of a bitch.
Whatever you say. But yeah, I don't agree that it is. I don't think it is a satire or a parody or a commentary. Because I do agree that it failed at those things. I just think it's bad, and I like it. Okay.
I mean, it is bad. I'll give you that. You're not wrong. It's definitely bad.
Okay, so that's it for Neo Yokio.
Thank God.
So something else that is kind of fudges the line between American and Japanese animation is something called Indigo Ignited, which was a pilot that premiered on YouTube on August 8th, 2017.
Which I just watched.
Yeah, like literally half an hour ago.
Yeah, I know.
It's 8 minutes long, so if you wanna invest 8 minutes, you can go watch it. It was produced by an American company. I don't really know the name of it. It seems very indie. But this is also indie, but the voice cast are
YouTubers.
Yeah, American YouTubers, Nate Wants to Battle and Amelie, which are pretty famous in the anime YouTube community, if I am correct about that.
Pretty, I would say so. especially in the music community.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they do anime covers mostly.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm saying in the anime music community.
Yeah.
I don't know if those
So
are two separate things or not. I don't know.
sure, if you want them to be. So yeah, this was really short, but I really liked the concept. It was about a guy with a mask that mind controls other people's with masks, and they're persecuting this extinct race of supernatural blue-haired people. But listen, I have a mask fetish, and if you are going to make a plot about masks, I'm going to be down for it. And there was like one fight which I thought was really well animated, and I would like to see more fights animated like that. The voice acting was bad though. But yeah,
when you consider it's from people who have no formal training whatsoever in voice acting, it's not that bad. It could have been a lot worse.
I mean, a lot of abridged series by people with no formal voice acting I appreciate their voice acting, but I don't appreciate the voice acting in Indigo Ignited. I do like their actual voices when they're singing, because I think they are good singers. Nate Wants to Battle and Amelie, but I don't think they were good. Especially Nate Wants to Battle. I didn't like him as an actor. He didn't really do it for me. But I thought the premise about masked people was really interesting, and I would love to see more masked people. Give me masks. Give me masks in every situation.
That's another bias of yours.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
That's not a bias. That's a fetish. That's a straight on fetish. if you guys at home only knew.
Whoa. I don't know what you're implying, but what did you think about Indigo Ignited, Alex?
I thought it was like you say, the animation I thought was pretty good. I really would like to know more about the studio that made this. If they have any other works that they've done, or if it's something that was just created to make this project. It seems very indie especially with the voice acting. I will say though that, and you brought this up while I was watching it, the art style is somewhat reminiscent of Fairy Tail, especially the character designs.
Yeah, the color palettes they use are very similar to the ones in Fairy Tail.
It's very the fight scene was really well animated, I thought. It seems like an interesting fantasy concept. I'd like to see a couple more episodes to see where they're gonna go anywhere with this, or if this was just like a proof of concept thing, then I'd definitely like to see what the rest of the concept is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're probably never going to. No one's gonna fund it. I'm joking. I have no idea how this is produced. But did you have anything else to say, or do you want to move on?
There's really not much else to say. It's 8 minutes long. It's free. It's on YouTube. I'm sure we could put the link in this description of this podcast. Maybe, John.
Sure. Oh, I was gonna say that Nate Wants to Battle did the theme song as well, true. And I really like that song.
That song at the end is really, really good. It's worth, and they play the full song, so it's worth staying the whole thing.
Super catchy, unlike Stick to singing. Okay. So the last thing that we're going to talk about is another pilot, which is called Children of Ether, which was a special created by American animator LaShawn Thomas, who is famous for creating Legend of Korra and the Boondocks. This premiered on Crunchyroll on July 25th, 2017. The music was by the British musician Mr. Hudson, and the character designs were by Japanese animator Hiroshi Shimizu, who also did Michiko to Hachin. So I am the only one who watched this among the three of us.
Yes.
So I'll just quickly say that it is a really great. The background art is really beautiful. I mean, the main appeal of it is that it's like, quote unquote, I said it again, Alex,
yep.
Quote unquote ethnic anime, because the main character is oh god, where is she from? What's that American island? Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico.
Yes, that one. Okay, she's Puerto Rican black woman that is the main character in an anime. So, I mean, she's pretty badass and very endearing. And she just kicks ass, and there's lots of explosions and fights and supernatural abilities. And apparently it's set in like this post-apocalyptic world, which I really like. I like seeing like torn down buildings and stuff, and I definitely recommend it. Oh, and the voice acting is really, really good. They're English voice actors, but I thought it was really good. I don't know who they are exactly. I don't think I recognize their names. I know I hate dubs. Listen, only the original language. Only. But yeah, I thoroughly liked it. Great visuals, voice acting. I think the music. Oh yeah, the music was really good, and the sound design. Where like the crashes and everything was really well timed. Overall, just like it was a 10 in all areas, and you should definitely watch it. It's on Crunchyroll. It's only one episode. I don't know when it's getting another episode. I don't know if it's getting another episode, but it was really interesting, and I definitely liked it. So that concludes all of the quote unquote anime.
You did it again.
Yes, I did.
Can we call
that
this episode
we were gonna
quote
talk
unquote
about.
American?
Oh my god, no, just quote unquote. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of this happened in like the last few months, which is like a lot happening at one time. So I definitely think that this might become a trend, which I hope it does, and I definitely want to see more of stuff like this, because anime that is only produced by Japan, I mean, it's really good. Obviously, I love anime. I'm doing a podcast, but it is also like really biased towards Japanese, like the Japanese perspective. And I definitely would like to see the medium of anime be applied to different perspectives. And I've definitely been enjoying what I've been seeing with these experimental works. So, what do you guys think?
I agree. On top of that, I just like to see a little more collaboration between like Western creators and anime studios. I think you could create some really interesting stuff in that. Especially with some anime directors who have already been doing really Western themed anime, like Watanabe. He's working on something new right now, and he just recently did the Blade Runner anime, and it was really good.
Yeah, we could have talked about that.
We could have talked about that, but we didn't.
Since that's an anime for a American property. It was really good.
Yeah.
But
that's something you might see come out of this too, is Western IPs getting an anime, which I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to. There's some Western IPs that I think do well in the medium of anime.
Wasn't there a lot of Western IPs that already got animated like a long, long time ago and they all flopped? Like the Marvel
I mean,
stuff?
there were definitely some in the 70s and 80s, yeah.
Well, I assume they flopped because all old anime flops,
Yeah,
Where's
except for Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
where is my Harry Potter anime?
It's called Little Witch Academia.
That's true.
Gender bent.
Gender bent.
Harry Potter anime.
Though Akko is significantly worse than Harry at magic.
Yeah, I think that it's a good thing for anime to have more quote unquote American anime.
Lord of the Rings anime win.
No. I can't.
That would be awesome.
Oh god.
Just end it now, please.
I like the movies. The books were a bit too much for me. I'm not that smart, okay? I can't read.
Wow.
But I think the anime would be, if it was an anime, it would be bad.
And
Unless like they got it really well animated.
CSI Miami anime. Big Bang Theory anime.
God, no. Just end it, please.
No.
Please, show. Just end this episode now. Before
Okay,
one of
so
these
thank
anime
you all.
directors actually does this.
Wow, thank you all out there for dropping in to listen to us. We hope you enjoyed it, because we sure enjoyed bringing it to you. If you want to check us out on our previous episodes of the podcast, you can find us on SoundCloud and iTunes. If you want to keep up with what we're doing and have a little more fun, you can join our Facebook group, follow our Twitch channel, and visit our website. And if you have any questions, comments, or criticisms of this or any episode, feel free to shoot us an email. Links to all these things are down below in the description. I have been your host, Sho, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, bitch.
EA does not deserve Big Toblerone.